Unicorn Warriors Eternal is kind of crazy, and to see several people incredibly excited after the first episode means that this show is already doing a few things well. The first aspect being that it demands your attention like no other. Starting off in media res, we're met with three heroes: Edred, a warrior elf, Sang, a cosmic monk, and Melinda, a powerful sorceress fighting what seems to be a very powerful evil threat. The show tells you very little about what's going on and leaves clues for you to figure it out on your own. By being unclear, it almost forces you not to miss anything, as I even went back to re-watch the first two episodes, understanding more of it on the second and third watch. What's important is that Melinda barely makes it out alive, getting engulfed in the monster and having it whisper her name.
Edred, my love, I heard someone.
Save your strength. He is coming.
A steam-powered robot and an old wizard, later known as Merlin, strongly urge them to continue their battle with this evil entity, as they're blessed by the magic realm of the unicorn. However, what's crucial to understand is that this is just one generation of battles, and the rest of the episode is talking about the next generations of battles. But you might ask, how can they fight an evil entity for several hundred years? Are they immortal? In a sense, you can say that. Copernicus, the steam robot, is able to transfer the souls of the three heroes into new bodies, essentially making these warriors eternal. By building up a big fight between these two powerful forces, you'd be interested to see who would be the new host.
You know, Father, no one will think less of you for shedding a tear at your only daughter's wedding.
This is Emma, who's shown to be the daughter of royalty and is just about to have one of, if not the biggest day of her life. A wedding with Winston, a man that she loves a lot. However, while this goes on, what appears to be grave robbers, or really grave chainsaw maulers, dig up the grave of Copernicus, with him fighting back in an interesting way. And it leads me into my second point. The animation and art style is phenomenal. I love the designs of all of the characters, with Copernicus growing on me the most. Look at how Copernicus's limbs can push out and punch these robots. Or, leaning more into the steampunk style, having him reveal this sort of mini turret-like defense out of his body. As we'd go on to see, each character has a different way of moving, which is a subtle but powerful way to distinguish them outside of their looks. Getting back to Emma, before she's able to fully celebrate her special day, Copernicus invades the wedding and decides that it is her duty to become one of the eternal warriors blessed by the unicorn magic realm. Watch as the soul is able to smash through the noble efforts of Emma's father protecting her only daughter and completely transform her into what we know as Melinda.
Please let me help you. I love you. Emma.
An absolutely beautiful scene, driven by amazing music and slowing things down. A talent that fans of Genndy Tartakovsky know well, as this is a staple in shows like Samurai Jack and Primal, but also seen in his other works too. However, despite demanding your attention and having a beautiful art style, I think these things only get you so far, as we are not short on beautiful looking shows that want to tell a good story. What I think will be the best aspects of Unicorn Warriors Eternal is that it's playing around with identity and responsibility. Hear me out. Between the first and second parts of this two-part special, Copernicus is shown to pick people and give them the souls, without them having too much of a choice in the matter. We see this more within part 2, when it comes to Sang's soul being placed within a young child named Alfie, and Edred's soul being placed within Dimitri. Each person deals with it differently. Dimitri, the one that has Edred's soul, maintains a lot of his own memories, power, and responsibility within the group. Alfie, who has Sang's cosmic mind, often gets lost within it, not being much help except for a few moments within this two-part special. However, it is very clear that they wanted to focus on one person the most, and that is the character who never wanted the responsibility, but now has it, and now has to deal with it.
What? That is me? Those people, that boy. Winston? My parents? Were they my parents? How can I not know?
Emma has a roller coaster of emotions, from completely denying everyone, denying that she's Emma multiple times to Winston, denying her role within fighting this grand evil, to confusion about everything that's going on justifiably, to anger that she of all people now have to deal with this situation, and also sadness for having her special day come with a burden that she didn't ask for. She also is forced to take the role of being a leader when Copernicus finds a host for Edred's soul as they have to blend into the city. You know, a girl with a dark everything, a giant round robot who makes large, audible robotic footsteps, and a floating boy who's operating from a different dimension. It is very clear that because of her emotional instability, she's not able to control her powers well, and that will be a problem for what's to come. You see, underneath the pressure of new responsibilities is the evil that pushes her to finally take action against it. We see a caught you staring. We see a woman resurrect the robo grave robbers and see exactly how they failed, coming over to an elephant named Lulu.
Here lies Lulu, beloved pet of the prince. A most humble gift from the Maharaja of India. Yes, perhaps this can work.
This immediately pushes Emma into an uncomfortable space because she's not exactly in sync with her own soul, meaning that her powers are inconsistent with when she does and does not want to use them. Although Edred is a powerful warrior, even inside the body of Dimitri, he's not enough to take down this elephant-sized threat. Alfie is still out to lunch, still engulfed in Sang's powerful cosmic mind, which really leaves things down to Copernicus and Emma, to which the former is trying but not strong enough to handle a monster of this size and strength, but maybe Emma can do something.
What am I supposed to do?
Before I get to what she ends up doing and the biggest shock at the end of the second episode, I want to get around to the aspects I wasn't so thrilled about. I'm not too crazy about the voice acting, especially with Emma. It just feels like to me it doesn't fit her and what they're trying to do with her. Oftentimes drastic things is happening around her and she just grunts like she had the Nacho Bel Grande an hour ago. Her screams are mid. Where are the pipes? I also found the reason for the woman opening up Copernicus's grave to destroy him preemptively as kind of weird. Have you ever heard the phrase, "let sleeping dogs lie"? He only woke up because of what they've done. However, my caveat here is that I don't know what else she's done, but it makes her look quite dumb so far. I also understand that this idea was over 20 years in the making, with Genndy feeling like his other shows were like a training ground for this show. And this isn't to say that this show so far doesn't stack up to the others, because I feel like that's too early of a take to have. But as far as first impressions go, this one has hooked me in the least of all of the media that I have watched from him. I remember being a mega fan of Primal Episode 1 to the point where I recommend that show to anyone, even people who don't normally watch animation. This one feels extremely complex and elaborate compared to Primal that was a lot more simple. And maybe that's where my preferences may push me away a bit more, but I would love to see the day where I am as hooked as other people, because so far, it's a crazy ride, but it's not exactly my favorite ride this year. The big twist was foreshadowed in the beginning of the second episode, with Emma watching Winston on the field, struggling against some tough and mean dudes, and ultimately losing against them. To me, this shows that Emma and Winston had a genuine connection, and it's clear that this new Emma-Melinda connection is causing a mental war between the two. However, what this episode did quite well is symbolize the point of no return, and it goes back to Lulu and Emma.
Emma, come with me!
Overwhelmed with everything, she lets it out with a powerful blast, destroying the monster and repelling everything and everyone in a violent burst, which also symbolizes how she's behaved since her transformation. While Copernicus, Alfie, and Edred come out mostly unscathed, Winston would meet the end of his story. This is the point of no return. Emma can't just go back to being Emma, because not only was one half of the reason who makes her special day a special day dead, but her powers are too dangerous to be around the people that she cares about while she is this unstable. Although this mysterious woman doesn't get to stop the warriors like she wanted before Copernicus can turn them into the eternal warriors that they are, she's confident that because of their lack of chemistry and sloppy execution that this may be their last resurrection. Is she right? Is she wrong? Look, all I know is, whenever she's revealed, I won't be able to Google her name again.